Hello, my name is Tallard, and today I'm going to show you how to prepare and cook a very famous meal from my country of Chile known as Pastel De Choclo. Now, you may be wondering what Pastel De Choclo is. If you translate the name from Spanish to English, the name Pastel De Choclo translates to cake corn. As the name implies, cake corn uses the main ingredient of corn to create the dish. Along with corn, there are other ingredients such as ground beef, chicken, golden raisins, olives, and many other mixed ingredients of vegetables and meat to create this dish. I'm going to be showing you how to create each portion of the dish and each ingredient's usage for the entire meal, along with informational facts and backgrounds about each ingredient used. This meal is very important for me and my family as we've been making this dish for many years, and it's been a tradition for us and for other Chileans in the country of Chile for special occasions and events during the year. Throughout the video, I'm going to be showing you all the steps necessary for you to follow on how to create this dish. This dish is very simple to do, and depending on how much experience you have in cooking, I'll try my best to show you all the easy process and instructions you need to follow through. So without further ado, let's get started. To get started making the pastel de choclo, we need the following ingredients and utensils. For the ingredients, we need 4 packs of corn, a stick of butter, half a can of olives, some vegetable oil, a pinch of salt and a pinch of pepper, some chopped onions, 2 skinless, boneless chicken breasts, a pound of ground beef, 96%, half a cup of milk, 4 leaves of basil, 3 eggs, some sugar, some golden raisins, and for the utensils that we need to use, we need the casserole bin, the blender, some knives, large wooden spoon, some scissors, large stewing pot, small stewing pot, frying pan, stove, and lastly, the oven. For the first step in making pastel de choclo, we're going to cut the packs of corn and put them in the blender. So let me just cut this first pack using the scissors that we have here. So now we pour them in the blender. Traditionally, many Chileans usually use fresh picked corns from the fields, like these corns, which are much more fresh and moist compared to the store-brand corn that are smaller and dried. They're considered the main traditional use ingredients for the pastel de choclo compared to these, which are just freshly picked and already made for us. After chopping the corn inside the blender, we're now going to need to pour all the corn into the stove pot and stir using our milk, or half cup of milk. So we just pour these all into the stove, into the stirring pot, nice and easy. And then we pour the half a cup of milk. So the half a cup of milk is here to help moisten the corn since it's very dry. After pouring the corn in the pot, we're going to add some pepper to add more taste to the corn. Just a pinch of pepper. And then we're going to stir the pot with the pepper inside. The pepper is actually a brand new ingredient added to this dish. After many years living in the United States, I've added the pepper as a sort of mix between the American and Chilean lifestyle. So after some stirring, we're going to add a little of basil. The basil is very important to go along with the pastel de choclo. Basil and pastel de choclo goes along with one another, they complement. And it's part of Chilean tradition to have one another be part as an ingredient for this pastel de choclo dish. Without it, it's not pastel de choclo. Alright, so now while this is cooking, we're now going to be focusing on doing the filling portion of the pastel de choclo. So we're going to turn on the heat right here for the frying pan, and we're going to pour some vegetable oil in a circular form. Now we're going to add the onions onto the frying pan. We're going to stir it for a little bit. And now we're going to add some ground beef. And now we're going to add the chicken breasts, chopped chicken breasts. Depending on how your taste is like, you can add more chicken breast, more ground beef, or more onions, depending on how much you want. You can either have it more salty or more meaty, depending on how you like it. I personally prefer this amount as part of the pastel de choclo. So from a previous explanation, I realized I needed to add more filling for the pastel de choclo, so I needed to add more ground beef and chicken. So I had to move everything into another pot and continued forth cooking it on this pot right here. So now that the ground beef is cooked somewhat medium rare and the chicken is almost done cooking. So once this happens, I might as well start working on the hard-boiled eggs for this part of the pastel de choclo ingredient. So right here I have some tap water poured into this pot right here. We're going to increase the heat halfway, and now we're going to start putting 3 eggs inside the pot. Okay, so now we're going to put the pot of hard-boiled eggs right here. So while these are boiling, I'm going to now focus on chopping some olives here. So I already opened up a can of olives right here, and I chopped some few over here. So onto the cutting board, I'm going to cut a few more to little pieces so we can pour them on later on, everything combined onto the casserole pan over here. Just a little bit more. All right, so now that we have plenty of olives, now we're gonna prepare the raisins, the golden raisins. So I'm gonna pour some hot water that I already have prepared over here. And I'm gonna pour it on to the golden raisins so they can be hydrated. They need to be very hydrated for the pastel de choclo to be tasty and have good style in it. So now the eggs have hard boiled to the right temperature. I've already removed the casing of the eggs, and now I'm ready to slice the eggs into the small divisions right here. So I'm going to take this egg right here and I'm going to slice them using this knife right here. Okay. So everything that needs to be combined, all the layers needs to be placed into this casserole bin. But before everything needs to be placed, I need to prepare the bin so that everything when placed on the bin doesn't get stuck. So I'm going to put some butter on it so that it won't get stuck onto the casserole bin. Okay, now that I have enough butter here, I'm going to now prepare the oven to preheat the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit so that we can start the final step of the pastel de choclo. Okay, so now we're gonna start pouring in the first layer of the filling for the pastel de choclo. So we're gonna place the bin right here, and now we're gonna pour in the ground beef and chicken into the layer for the casserole bin. And then another one. Yeah. Okay. Now that we poured in the first layer of the ground beef and chicken in the casserole bin, I'm now going to pour in the next layers for the filling portion of the pastel de choclo. I've set up this bin to help support the casserole bin so that when we pour it in the oven, it'd be easy to remove. So now we're going to pour in the eggs on top. Make it more dispersed so that everybody can get equal amount. Okay, and now we're going to add the black olive layer. Just a few evenly matched on each side. Just a couple more. Okay, and now we're going to add the last layer, which is the golden raisins. Put them here. and the last bit here. Okay, and that's it. That's the whole layer for the filling portion. Now that the filling portion is complete, I'm now going to put in the top layer, which is the corn that we were making before, which is the final ingredient we need to make the pastel de choclo. So now we're just going to pour in the cooked corn from before in the pot. Spread them all over on top. Looks pretty good. The top layer right here. And after spreading it all over on top, I'm then going to put the entire bin inside the oven for an hour. And that is how you make pastel de choclo. I hope you've been following throughout the video in each step and have learned something about pastel de choclo itself. If you're interested to learn more about Latino culture in general, you can go and look up more information online or go to my website. So, thank you for watching my video. I hope you have a wonderful day.